I was recently conducting a retirement masterclass workshop and I asked an exciting question to all the pre retirees present. What's the first big thing you're going to buy when you finally retire? The answers were filled with excitement: the RV for cross country road trips, the boat for the grandkids, the dream home by the lake. But then I told them about a different conversation I had, and it completely changed the energy in the room. I was speaking with a group of seasoned retirees, people 5 to 10 years into their journey, and I asked them a much tougher question. What purchase do you wish you could take back? The room went completely silent. And then, one by one, they shared their heartbreaking stories. Not of small financial missteps, but of huge 5 and 6-figure dream purchases that ended up costing them more than just money. They cost them their freedom and their peace of mind. If you're new here, my name is Megan Ramshaw, CFP and lead advisor at MOKAN Wealth. And in today's video, we are going to break down the 5 spending habits that can quietly sabotage a perfectly good retirement. Stick with me because the fifth is the one I see even the most disciplined, successful people fall for. The core problem isn't about budgeting. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of what changes the day you retire. For 40 years, your entire financial brain is wired to make the pile bigger. Then, one day, you're supposed to flip the switch and become an expert at spending down your life savings. But without a clear written plan, most people fall back on the habits that feel right but are dangerously wrong. They make decisions based on emotion, which is not bad, but forgetting the math behind what you can spend does become a problem. And that's where these quiet, destructive habits take root. Without a clear written plan for how to spend down your savings, you enter what we call the retirement danger zone. This is the first 5 to 10 years after you stop working. This is the period where your portfolio is most vulnerable to market downturns and bad decisions. Let me walk you through a real-world example to show you exactly what I mean. John was 55, Sarah was 58, and when they walked into my office, they had a clear goal: retire early at 60. They'd saved well, over $2 million in pre-tax retirement accounts, Social Security waiting in the wings, and they were living on about $12,000 a month. But they had a problem. The same discipline that got them to $2 million was now working against them. Every dollar they thought about spending felt like a step toward ruin. This is where we had to completely rethink their approach. Habit number 1, the I deserve it trap. This is the most common destroyer of wealth because it doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like a reward. John and Sarah had a rock-solid plan to spend $12,000 a month, but after a lifetime of saving, the mindset shifted. It started small. We've worked 40 years, let's upgrade to first class on the flight to Italy. What's another $100 for the nicer bottle of wine at dinner? Let's take an unplanned weekend trip to the coast. We deserve it. Each decision in isolation was tiny and completely justifiable, but the cumulative effect was massive. When we reviewed their first year of retirement, we discovered this I deserve it trap had added an extra $4,000 a month to their spending. That's $48,000 a year that was never accounted for in the plan. At a 4% withdrawal rate, you need $1.2 million in assets just to support that trap. It's death by 1,000 small, well-deserved rewards. Habit number 2, mismatched lifestyle. This is running a marathon at a sprinter's pace. Let me tell you about someone I know. We'll call him David. David retired from a high-powered sales job where he comfortably lived on an after-tax income of $20,000 a month. He didn't go crazy, he just kept living that same lifestyle. He kept the same club memberships, the same travel schedule, the same spending habits. The problem? His retirement plan was designed to provide a sustainable $12,000 a month. He was outspending his plan by $8,000 every single month. This resulted in an unsustainable 8% withdrawal rate in his very first year, right in the middle of the retirement danger zone. He didn't realize he was burning through his fuel twice as fast as he should, putting his entire 30-year journey at risk. Habit number 3, ignoring your silent partner. This is looking at your IRA balance and thinking it's all your money while Uncle Sam laughs in the background. You don't have a $3 million IRA. You have a partnership with the IRS, and they haven't sent you their bill yet. Let me give you a hypothetical scenario. Let's say you have $1 million in assets, just to support that trap. You don't have a $3 million IRA. You have a partnership with the IRS, and they haven't sent you their bill yet. Let me give you a hypothetical scenario. Let's say you have $1 million in assets, just to support that trap. You don't have a $3 million IRA. You have a partnership with the IRS, and they haven't sent you their bill yet. Let me give you a hypothetical scenario. Imagine someone with that exact $3 million IRA wanted to pull out $200,000 for a kitchen remodel. They think it's just a fraction of my portfolio. But that $200,000 withdrawal is all ordinary income. It instantly pushes them from the 22% tax bracket into the 35% bracket, costing them nearly $70,000 in federal taxes. Worse, that income spike triggers a massive $4,000 annual surcharge on their Medicare premiums for the following year. Your 401k is a tax time bomb, and without a plan, you can lose 30 to 40% of it to taxes you never saw coming. Habit number 4, the purchase domino. This is pulling a single thread that unravels the entire sweater. It starts with one dream purchase, but it's the cascade of secondary costs that does the real damage. Consider this common situation. Someone buys their dream fishing boat and pays cash for it. A smart move, they think. But then comes the new, bigger truck with the towing package, then the annual marina slip fees, the winter storage, the maintenance, the insurance. Then they realize they're driving 3 hours each way, so they start looking at a second home near the lake. That one dream purchase fundamentally changed their entire cost of living, locking them into a complex and expensive lifestyle their original plan was never designed to support. Habit number 5, the feared action. This is the most dangerous habit because it affects the most disciplined savers. After a lifetime of telling your brain that saving is good and spending is bad, you retire and you're terrified to touch your money. Every dollar you spend feels like a step toward ruin. That pressure builds and builds until it snaps, and you make a sudden, emotional, massive purchase. The luxury car, the round-the-world cruise, just to feel like you're living a little. This violent swing between fear and guilt is the most common path to unhappiness in retirement, because you never feel in control. I'm curious, which of these 5 habits worries you the most in your own retirement plan? Let me know in the comments below. So we've identified these 5 habits that create anxiety and regret. The critical question is, what's the alternative? How do you move from a life of fear about spending to a life of unshakable confidence? The answer isn't a simple budget. The answer is to stop thinking about your retirement plan as a plan and start thinking of it as guardrails. After working with hundreds of successful retirees, I found that the happiest and most confident ones have all built these guardrails around their retirement. These are not just about growing your money. They're a defense system designed to protect you from market volatility, crippling taxes, and your own worst emotional impulses. Let me show you how to build them. Guardrail number 1, the income guardrail. This is the first and most important layer of your defense. It is designed to protect your core lifestyle from market crashes. Here's how it works. We build this guardrail by creating a reliable, automated retirement paycheck that is engineered to cover all of your essential living expenses: your mortgage, property taxes, utilities, groceries, and healthcare. Crucially, this paycheck is funded by your most stable and reliable income sources, like Social Security, pensions, and potentially a dedicated bond ladder. This means that no matter what the stock market does in a given year, your core lifestyle is 100% secure. You are no longer guessing what you can spend. You have a defined, secure paycheck, and you know that everything beyond that is surplus. For John and Sarah, we set their secure paycheck at $10,000 per month. That covered their essential needs completely. Everything else became discretionary. Guardrail number 2, the tax and healthcare guardrail. Once your income is secure, we build the second guardrail. This is designed to protect your portfolio from the 2 biggest external threats that can decimate your wealth: the IRS and unexpected medical costs. Here's how it works. This firewall has 2 components. First, we diffuse the tax time bomb in your IRA with multi-year Roth conversion strategies, moving money from a forever taxed account to a never taxed account. For John and Sarah, we implemented an aggressive Roth conversion strategy in their early 60s, before they claimed Social Security. We converted strategic amounts each year, staying in the 22% and 24% tax brackets. This allowed them to avoid the massive tax hit they would have faced in their 70s when required minimum distributions kicked in, pushing them into the 32% bracket. Second, we create a specific written plan to fund a potential long-term care event. By building this guardrail, you have a massive pool of tax-free money to draw from and a clear plan for healthcare. You've proactively managed your tax bill and stress tested your plan against the single biggest expense in retirement. Guardrail number 3, the emotional guardrail. This is the final and most unique layer of protection. This guardrail is not designed to protect you from the markets or the IRS. It's designed to protect you from yourself. Here's how it works. This is a decision that you make with your future self in writing when you are calm and rational. It contains a pre-agreed upon set of rules for major financial decisions. For example, it might state for any non-essential purchase over $10,000, we'll have a 30-day cooling off period and 2 separate conversations before moving forward. This simple rule acts as a circuit breaker for emotion. It forces logic into a purely emotional decision, preventing the impulsive boat purchase and the guilt-ridden splurge. It allows you to spend on your terms with full confidence. For John and Sarah, we implemented this exact rule. When they wanted to upgrade their RV 6 months into retirement, they followed the rule. After 30 days and 2 conversations, they realized they were falling into the I deserve it trap and decided to wait another year. That decision saved them over $80,000. This guardrail system is what defends you from the 5 bad habits which can potentially ruin your retirement savings. Do you see the difference? A plan that starts with investments leaves you guessing. A plan that builds your guardrails gives you clarity. You've spent a lifetime building incredible wealth. You don't have to spend your retirement in fear. You just need a system that gives you the confidence to live. If you want to see if this system could work for you, get started now at the link in the description and see if we're a fit. Thank you.